Okay, so tell us, we are looking at the Gaza border. Where are we looking from in Israel? Where are we and what are we
We
looking at?
are in Nahal Oz.
Okay.
It's the nearest community to the Gaza old border.
How far are we?
We are 500 meters
So,
away.
so it's about what, 500 yards?
500 meters, like 600 yards.
Okay.
Yeah. Each 100 yards is 90 meters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
So,
so I'm looking at like what used to be a city.
It used to be an area called Sajaiya. Became very famous for their underground services. Um, many of the hostages were held over there. It was a very strong battalion of the Hamas. And many of the terrorists from the high-end terrorists that came on the 7th, like they're pathfinders, they're senior rapists, so they came through Sajaiya, because it's also a very geographically it's a very good location to infiltrate Israel, because we're about the let's say northern third of the Gaza Strip.
Uh-huh.
So they teamed up with guys that came through the north and already butchered the northern communities, and then they teamed up behind Nahal Oz after they did the army base behind us
Uh-huh.
and the community to our left. So then they kept going east. These guys were they were notoriously evil, and kept going. They kept going, and they still do. I know it looks like a wreck, but there's a lot of activity underground, and they don't mind the death. They don't mind the destruction, simply because they don't count it.
So, so the other day, I was talking to you when you were mentioning, our ministry decided that we wanted to provide you with a couple of thermal drones, and you explained to me the importance of those drones with the tanks and the drones. Explain to me why this is going to be a game changer.
Actually, it's a perfect location to see this. You could look around and see it's visually impossible to acknowledge anomalies in this view.
Because of all the...
It's a pile of rubbish.
Right.
So there's no logic to it. It's not like walking through the street and you could see a misplaced wire or a box that shouldn't be there that could be an IED.
Right.
Or people hiding behind something. You could see them because everything is clean and in order.
Right.
In this scenario, it's very hard to see something is off.
Right.
Because everything is off. So the thermal drones, first of all, they give us an overwatch. When we move forward, we can see them. Organizing, staging an IED scene, or placing an ambush, or whatever. We can see when looking at rocks, we can see one of them isn't a rock because it's thermal.
Right. So you see a heat signature.
Yeah. So you can see it's a fake rock. Which
Right.
means it's a bomb. And we can see when they infiltrate. You can see them through the fields very easily. But using normal, regular optics, or even night vision, it's very hard to see something that isn't moving. But the thermal is a key part in identifying living things or fake things in day-to-day life. So this is how it comes in handy, and it has very good what you helped us, what you purchased for us. It has very high-end thermal vision, and similar systems have already saved many lives, and I have no doubt this will do the same and better.
Thank you. The way I see it is that God has provided through many of our friends in America the funds that they donated to our ministry so that we can put it all together and then provide those drones. At the end of the day, the way I see it is that I want to see if we can save physical lives so that we can have a chance to sit with these people one day, or somebody will have a chance to sit with them and save them also spiritually. Because the physical salvation is one thing, but I want to make sure that they have a chance to be saved spiritually and understand who God is and why He cares about them. So thank you for your explanation.
Absolutely.
And
I would just like to add one thing
uh-huh.
that
You always like to add one thing.
I absolutely agree with you
I love
about
it.
what you just said, and I just want to emphasize that yes, the funds and the gear and all you do for us makes real difference, but the support you're providing us is actually even more meaningful because the guys are tired, the guys are beaten, they are exhausted, and you're like the wing in our the wind in our sails, you know. And we have many criticism back home for not surrendering to terrorism, and we really appreciate it. And I think just by winning this war and not caving in and not giving up, I think their people, the Muslim people or radicals across the border, would be, let's say, convinced in our righteousness. Because I think there's no better example than surviving what they did to us.
Amen. Well, thank you for your explanation. This is very sobering. We are literally 500 yards from Gaza. We heard some explosions earlier. We might hear some more later. We don't know. We never know what's coming. But we're here because, again, I heard this and I repeat it almost on every single one of my videos. We're here. This is a ministry of presence. We need to be here to show Israel that there are people who care enough to put aside their daily life and whatever they do in the US or any other part of the world and come and do something. Just do something. And I say often in my teaching that a bystander who does nothing only facilitates the work of a perpetrator. We will not be bystander. This is an existential war for Israel and for the free world. More to come. This is Olivier with Shalom and Messiah. Be blessed.